Burnaby, New Westminster.
Yesterday, the Conservatives seemed to have trouble understanding their new investment agreement with China, Mr. Speaker. Maybe they should actually read it. Under this agreement, if the CNOOC Nexon takeover is approved, CNOOC will have the same rights as any Canadian company to buy up new oil leases and expand operations. Let's look at Article 6. Chinese state-owned companies will receive, quote, national treatment for expansion, management, conduct, operation, and sale. Question simple. Have the Conservatives read their own agreement, and do they deny it would give Chinese state-owned companies the same rights as Canadian companies to buy up new oil leases and a whole lot more?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Trade.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I'm trying to follow the honourable member's logic.
There's none.
Having a lot of difficulty with that. I suspect, Mr. Speaker, because the question is not logical. But here's the issue. The issue is this simple. The FIPA will establish rules. Those rules will protect Canadian investors in China. Those rules will treat Chinese investors in Canada the same as Canadian investors. What's wrong with rules? What's wrong?
The Honourable Member for Burnaby, New Westminster.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The problem with rules is the Conservatives don't seem to be able to manage them effectively, and they have badly mismanaged this file from the start. Now, breaking news, Mr. Speaker, now we learn from Canadian press that Conservative has missed a key deadline to examine the impact that the CNOOC Nexon takeover will have on Canadian national security. Now, how can Conservatives stand up in this House day after day and tell Canadians they were evaluating the CNOOC takeover on the basis of national security when they dropped the ball and missed the deadline? They broke the rules. This is amateur hour, Mr. Speaker. So how could they drop the ball?
The Honourable Minister of Industry.
Sure, thank you. Our government will always act in the best interest of Canadians. And what we have to do with this transaction, Mr. Speaker, is to see if it will provide a net benefit for Canada. But what is amateur, Mr. Speaker, is to come here and to advocate for national security provisions when we put them back in 2009 and the NDP voted against, Mr. Speaker. We put also guidelines for the SOEs. We have tools to fully scrutinize this transaction, and this is what we will do very closely, Mr. Speaker.